ladies and gentlemen, our next guest has made her way all the way up as she shares her love and passion for baking with the audience. Ekta Sethi is a baker, food blogger, and a healthy recipe developer, and more. She's here right now to tell us more about her passion in baking and more with that. Ekta, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. There is like reading your intro, it's like, wow, she is really into it. There's a lot going on. So even the fact is you are a food recipe developer, you're a blogger, you teach, you bake. There's a lot going on here. So where do you want to start? Let's talk about, let's say, you're passionate in baking.
Yeah, so actually I loved baking and cooking right from my childhood. During my school and college days, I remember I would bake for my family.
Okay.
And I remember just picking up a cookbook and baking on special occasions, and my family would love it. But I never thought I would take it as a profession. And I grew up, I became an engineer, and I worked for software companies. But after I had children, I did not want to go back to 8 to 5 job. No, because I wanted to spend more time with my young kids.
And your family.
So that time I started baking again.
Okay.
I really loved it, and I used to bake for my children, and they loved it. And my neighbors really relished whatever I baked.
Okay.
So soon I started thinking, why not take it as a profession? And I took up formal training, and then I started this business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is a very interesting step you've done there, pretty much being an engineer in a software company, but giving more time to your kids. So I think your kids and everybody appreciate you doing that, that's for sure. So now you took baking more seriously, your kids loved it, the neighbors loved it, and then you thought of expanding more. What was the spark?
Yeah, so I started my business and had Saisha Sweet Treats.
Oh, wow.
I was actually in Kuwait when I started that.
Okay.
And everyone loved my cakes, and I did really well. And I used to make customized cakes, cookies. And I was really enjoying it because, you feel really happy when you do something for others and they really enjoy it. You see the happiness in the children's faces when they enjoy the cakes that you bake. So that was a big reward for me. And now the food blog came when the COVID started.
Right.
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
So actually I moved to Bahrain 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, so wow, that was an interesting start for your journey to Bahrain 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I continued with my cakes, and the people there were very supportive, and they were buying the cakes from me. But after COVID, I somehow thought, why not start a food blog and share healthy recipes? Because I also became, along my baking journey, I also became more aware of the ingredients that go into the baking, and that we should move towards healthy ingredients as well.
Right.
So I would give normal cakes as well as healthy. I had both options for the customers. Gradually I moved on to that.
Okay.
And during the COVID, I thought, why not to start sharing these recipes as well.
Amazing.
So that's how the food blog was born, and people gave a good response, and that's how I continued.
Very, very beautiful, very exciting seeing how things are developing. I just what I love about stories like this. It's like you see where you started, and then what you had to do, and the sacrifices. I'm sure it wasn't an easy trip. The challenges, like, will it work? Will it not? Will it happen or not? But you went with it, with a smile. It's like, I'm gonna make this happen. I found my passion. Now you said the word recipe, and in the intro, we pretty much introduced you as a food recipe developer. I love that. So how can you come around to actually develop your own recipe? It's like you go on Google, I want a recipe for this, and you have all the stuff and but you develop your own recipes.
Yes.
Tell us about the process with that.
So yeah, it is quite challenging to create a new recipe, and there are many challenges we face while we create a recipe. So firstly, we need to know how to balance the proportions to get the exact taste and texture in a bake.
Wow.
So yes, that's one very important point. then we need to know the flavor, how two different flavors will combine together, how they will taste. For example, chocolate and orange and chocolate and mint, for example, they pair beautifully.
I enjoy that. You know, chocolate and mint is definitely one thing.
Yes, but chickpea flour or whole wheat flour with chocolate, how well will it go? So these are the different things we need to take care of while creating a recipe. And of course, when we are experimenting, we need to ensure that we are not wasting and we don't end up binning the whole thing. And I hate wasting food.
Okay.
So that's another point we need to keep in mind when we are developing a recipe. And of course, also the ingredients that we are putting in the recipe, you know, they will behave differently if sourced from different brands. For example, a whole wheat flour, if sourced from one brand, will absorb more moisture as compared to from another brand. So all that knowledge, we need that minute level of knowledge when we are developing a recipe.
Wow.
So
wow. Did you have to go and like take a course or something like that? Or it's just all self-taught and just a lot of mistakes and food maybe wasted?
Yeah, so I've been lucky that, you know, most of it mostly I have not wasted food.
Amazing.
And it just comes to me, even the recipe, what recipe to create, it just comes, okay, let's try this one. But yes, I've had formal training for my baking, but for recipe, I think it's just a knack I have, so yeah.
Well, you know, you're one of the lucky ones. It's like, oh, I just feel like having this recipe. What is it? Boom, 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 boom. That's it. Let's go try it. Oh, it works. That's it. That's a recipe. Yeah. Do you have to copyright these recipes by any chance?
No, I haven't so far. It's okay. I just want to share with the world.
All right. All right. So, you know, from baking to blogging, sharing recipes, developing on recipes to a book. Tell us about the book.
Yeah, so I'm actually a member of OMBC, which is Oh Wonderful Moms Baking Community. It's an award-winning Facebook group, and there are over 60,000 members in it, and we are all very passionate about healthy baking. And we share a lot of healthy recipes with each other. And there are a lot of charity events going around throughout the year in this group. So last year they had come up with a kind of a contest in which bakers were supposed to submit their recipes. And select few recipes would be published in a book. And then that book would, the proceeds of that book would go to support to NGOs in India. So I'm so grateful to God that my recipe was selected, and so this book has been published this year. It's on sale in Amazon, and if anyone wants to know more about healthy baking and wants to support a good cause, please do get it.
Can we see the book if you don't mind? Just look at that. Look at that. Okay, well, definitely, as you can see it, ladies and gentlemen, this is really happening. The book is published, it's out there, it's on Amazon. All is good, all is amazing. Well, thank you so much for making this happen. All right, here you go.
Thank you.
So now, as the book took place, it's published, it's all good. What's your future plan with all of this?
Well, I want to carry on with more service projects in Bahrain, where I can use my baking and teaching skills. And of course, I want to open a YouTube channel. And inshallah, one day, a book of my own. Let's see.
All right. Well, you know, your first episode could be this interview on your YouTube. That's how I started. You know, I got recognized right here. So you're going to have classes, you're going to have your own YouTube show, pretty much you're going to have your own show, maybe in different cable networks and all of that. And it's like, oh yeah, I remember Akta, I interviewed her, do you remember me?
You're too kind.
Thank you so much for doing this. So any last words to your viewers?
I would say, eat healthy, and stay happy. And do give in some time of your busy schedule to help the needy. Do your bit to make this world a better place.
All right, now that was really exciting. Now tell us about Ramadan activities. A lot's been going on there.
Yeah, so OMBC actually had some events going on during the month of April, where bakers across different cities of India were, they held bake sales, healthy bake sales, and the proceeds were going to support the local NGOs there. So I thought, why not to do something here in Bahrain and support a local charity organization here? Because as we know, during the COVID, many organizations, you know, and they've suffered a lot. The charity organizations needed funds. So, so what I did is initially I had to look for bakers. So I spoke to many bakers who were interested in this initiative and also who could bake healthy. So it wasn't easy initially, but slowly the momentum picked up, and we had 8 bakers on board, and the campaign ran for almost a month.
Wow.
And you know, so many people, they pulled in generously. For example, Let Them Eat Cake and Green Beets, they sponsored our campaign.
Okay.
And Oval Dairy and Mega Mart, they sponsored some of the ingredients that the bakers had to use. And I was really overwhelmed with all the support from all the beautiful people of Bahrain, because we were able to raise more than 1,000 BD, and 100% of the proceeds went to a special needs school that's run by Indian Ladies Association in Bahrain.
Okay, yeah.
So I was really glad that I'm really grateful to God that we were able to do this and help them in that way.
Amazing. Well, much appreciation to you and your team, and to you as well. Bless you for everything you've been doing, giving people a chance to be healthier through your recipes, through your approach, through everything. Well, I guess the only thing we left for us to do is to actually get your book, dive deep into your recipes, follow your blogs, and just take some of your classes as well, just to live a healthier life. Well, Ekta, thank you so much for being with us here on Bahrain Now. This has been a pure delight, and we can't wait to see you again with a healthier, I guess, status, especially myself.
Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, eat healthy, live healthy. These were the words of Ekta. It took place right here with an interview on Bahrain Now.